Most modern vehicles hold at least 5 people these days. Certainly, a convoy consisting of 2 Tacomas and a 4Runner could reasonably be expected to have a nominal passenger capacity of at least 12. That said, it's just the 3 of us on this trip. And why not? When you think about it, driving out into the middle of Nevada to look into holes, drink canned beverages, cook on a fire, sleep in the dirt like a homeless person, and eat random snacks in 100-year-old rundown shacks. I mean, none of this makes any sense. So why not just grab a beer and embrace it? This is one of those age-old questions. Is it just car camping? Is it something different? Does it matter how much junk you have bolted to the roof? Is my vehicle a rig or just a truck? And how do I tell the difference? Well, I can't answer these questions for you. You'll need to go to Reddit and do the research for yourself. One thing I can tell you is that the farther you get away from that last Maverick station, when you lose cell signal, when you remember that you forgot to pack a change of clothes, when you settle into telling dad jokes over the radio, the day rolls on and it just never comes up. So I'm on a kind of the saddle between the Gabbs Valley behind me and the Lodi Valley in front of me. And everywhere you look around here, there's mines and mining activity, little roads going here and there. You can see them crisscrossing down there. You've got trenches dug for exploration. You've got little exclusion zones like the one behind me with usually a borehole going straight down, sometimes for great distances. But it's really pretty here, and I'm just walking around to get a feel for this area. We're going to camp tonight down in this drainage below me here. Put these fences with horse wire, sometimes barbed wire around them. When it's barbed wire, it's like a death hole. When it's horse wire, it's usually just a major inconvenience hole. This one doesn't have any kind of wire around it. There we can see the bottom. No big deal. Not that deep, but I bet there's a shaft in there that goes that way or that way. This terrain's really rough, rocky, brushy. You'll be happy to know that I'm not wearing flip-flops, proper hiking boots. Safety first. Last spring, Bouge RV sent me this Rocky 40 fridge to review. It has 2 temperature zones separated by a removable partition. They can be run as a fridge or a freezer, or 1 fridge and 1 freezer. It has digital controls on the top back where you can set the temperature, power mode, and low voltage cutoff. If you're powering this from your vehicle's main battery, you'll want to run it at medium or high battery protection so it shuts off before it drains your battery. I have a second battery set up, so I just run it at low. I've been using this all summer in the back of the Tacoma. It keeps food and drinks cold as well as any other fridge I've used, like the Iceco JP30 and the Dometic CFX55IM. The unique thing about this fridge is that it has a battery slot for a removable 15 amp hour battery. They did not send one of these, so I did not test it. Bouge RV claims it can run the fridge for up to 5 hours if it's set to eco, has low battery protection on, and has an ambient temperature of 89 degrees. It also has a solar input instead of a regular AC input, so you can run it off a solar panel. I wasn't able to test this as the connection isn't an 8mm DC like my solar panels have. It comes with a DC plug and an AC adapter, but the AC adapter uses the DC input at the back of the fridge. The fridge is quite wide at 17.5 inches at the base, so it barely fits in my alu-cab slide. It's a little shorter than similarly sized fridges though, so that means I can open up the side hatch and get into the fridge without having to slide it out first. Overall, this is a pretty good value at $549.99 for the 41 quart model. All right. Good evening. Shade just hit camp and Clint is starting a fire over there. He's going to cook us a nice meal a little bit later, as soon as those coals get good. Should be cool, should be tasty, it always is. But before we do that, I wanted to show you one of my new favorite trail beverages, and that is these Athletic Brewing Company non-alcoholic beers. This is the Free Wave Hazy IPA, probably one of my favorites. It's tasty. Apparently I only brought Hazy IPA from Athletic. Athletic's got, I don't know, half a dozen different flavors of beer. Anyway, these are all good. I like all of them. They're all tasty. Another favorite is this Trail Pass IPA from Sierra Nevada. I wouldn't say this tastes exactly like Sierra Nevada IPA, but it's pretty darn close. It's close enough for me. Another one that I've recently tried is this Lagunitas IPNA. And Lagunitas IPA is one of my favorite regular beers. This is nearly as good. I would say up to... You have to disregard what I say here. I think I hadn't tried the Lagunitas yet. It's really not that good. I wouldn't buy it again. Now there are a number of reasons why you might want to drink non-alcoholic beer instead of regular beer. This tastes good. It tastes like beer. It tastes as much like beer as you really need it to taste like beer. And non-alcoholic beer is better than beer in a lot of ways. First of all, you can get home after work, you can have a non-alcoholic beer, and you're not going to be sleepy, you're not going to be buzzed, you'll be just as full as if you had a regular beer because it's pretty much the same amount of calories. You can have one for lunch if you want. It's not going to slow you down at all during the day. It's just as refreshing and tasty as a beer, makes you feel the same, pretty much the same way, but you just don't get the alcohol that will affects me for quite a while. You can have one while you're driving. You can have one while you're driving around. It's just soda. It's not alcoholic. It's no big deal. There might be other reasons that you would want to have a non-alcoholic beer, but I can't think of any right now. And it's time to go talk to Clint and Mike about dinner and get on with the evening. If you have any recommendations for other non-alcoholic beers that I could try, let me know. I'd be happy to check them out. A lot of times on Broverlanding trips like this, I'll just lay down a tarp and sleep out under the stars. And while a tent isn't always necessary, one thing I really need these days is a good sleeping pad. Last spring, Hest sent me their Foamy pad and sleep system to review. The pad comes in a sleeve with straps to keep it rolled up and a durable bottom, so you could just lay it out on the rough ground with no issue. It rolls out and is ready to use with no inflating. Now, I'm a side sleeper with shoulder injuries on both sides, and the Hest Foamy is ideal for me. I sink right into it, my shoulders are supported and comfortable. If you're a back sleeper, it'll work even better. The rest of the sleep system fits in this nice little tote bag and includes a fitted sheet, a pillow, and a down comforter. If you're a Broverlander, you might not know what a fitted sheet is, so here's a quick tutorial. The comforter has a drawstring on one end so you can slip it over the end of the pad and have a nice warm setup. The pillow has an excellent self-contained design that unzips and folds back over on itself. A pillowcase is also available, making the whole setup quite comfortable, warm, and cozy. This is the Foamy pack, which you can find under the bundles section on their website, and it retails for $5.25. I did end up setting the tent as it got a little windy later on and I didn't want a bunch of stuff blowing into my bed. I like the whole Hest system, especially the fact that it doesn't need to be inflated, though because of that it does take up a lot more space. But the compromise is well worth it.
This is a pre-mixed Manhattan. Well, pre-mixed except the rye, because I had to go get that from Fallon first. So normal Manhattan is just like 2 parts rye or bourbon and then 1 part sweet vermouth, and then you put some bitters in it. But this one is special because ryes are so strong and kind of spicy, and we're a little older and we get heartburn pretty easily. So I've adjusted it by adding some chinar, which is a artichoke liqueur, and I mix that with a sweet vermouth that's a reserve level one, so it's really nice and kind of spicy. And then I put a good healthy dosing of maraschino, like the syrup that comes in the maraschino liqueur, or not liqueur, the maraschino cherry jars. So I put about 6 teaspoons of that in there. So this should give us 2 Manhattans per person, or 1 really big one per person. And so I pre-mix it in this Old Republic Brewery stainless steel growler because it stays really, really cold. And then I even pre-dilute it because I'm not going to bring a bunch of ice and I'm going to do the whole mixing pitcher thing in, so I just measure it all out. Because if you don't dilute it, it's pretty strong. So since I didn't put the rye in, I got to do it now. So
Where's Fry Ranch?
Fry Ranch is in Fallon, Nevada, and it's run by Colby and Ashley. So it's one of the few estate distilleries in the entire country, which means that they grow everything. They distill everything and bottle everything all on their property. So it's pretty cool.
How's the whiskey?
The whiskey's really good. And they have a lot of different flavors now. So they have...
Let me smell that.
Yeah. So I measure everything out. So this is 12 ounces of rye, which is quite good. So assuming I did my math right, this will be really good. If I didn't do my math right, it's going to be a lot.
Just for the record, you mentioned getting older. How old are we getting?
I'm only 38. How old are you?
Let's leave that off the record. So how's it taste?
Oh, it's excellent. It's really well balanced, and I'm definitely enjoying it.
Clint,
You said there's a little chinar in there?
Yeah.
One of my favorite aperitifs, or digestives. One of those. It's the best Manhattan I've ever had camping.
And it's also cherry oak bitters, orange bitters, and Angostura bitters in it because, you know, we got to go overboard.
That's what they call you, Overboard Mike.
No, I don't do boating.
My name is Clint Jolly from Reno.
How long
Born
have you
raised.
lived in Reno?
Well, 6 weeks from now, middle of job, I'll be 44. Well, we're camping out in the Nevada desert, which is awesome. And we're making steak tacos. So we're talking about minimalist cooking, right? So we're going to do kind of my favorite way to cook over an open fire, especially camping or backyard, whatever. So I got some steaks from the butcher shop, New York, at a porterhouse, thin cut, so they'll cook nice and quick. Season those up, and I'm going to grill some veggies to throw on top of those. And I was going to make frijoles borrachos, but I forgot to put beans in. Thankfully, I threw some hominy in, so we're going to do hominy on the side.
Oh, sweet.
We'll steak tacos.
Yeah.
Hominy.
I like hominy.
Yeah, and a little avocado and simple.
Hey, Clint, is that store-bought seasoning?
No. This is a little custom blend. So it was Italian seasoning, Rayleigh's organic. I used that up and then I made like a little Mexican blend. So coriander and peppers and dehydrated garlic. What else is in there? Oregano, chilies. So yeah. I think it's kind of cool for camping. It'll last longer and taste better and adds a little more flavor.
So
Good.
what
Tasty.
do you mean? So what makes this minimalist?
just not a lot of gear. I don't know, I laugh about that because we got 3 rigs here that are all decked out with all this stuff. But as far as the cooking thing, we got a grill grate, building a fire. So the grill grate, we cook the steaks right on. We can use it as a base for the pan, cook up the veggies, beans, and all that sort of stuff. So minimalist, I guess, just simple. Not a lot of stuff, not a lot of equipment.
Where's this, when are you gonna get the scuttle out?
Oh, that's right, I don't have one.
Hey, Clint, what's this called?
It's an avocado.
How'd you say that?
Avocado. Avocado?
Avocado.
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 You must be from Michigan. Steak spreading, and then they come back to it. It's not perfect.
Well, it's getting pretty dark, so I think more video is out of the question here, but we've got our dinner here. We've got delicious steak tacos with pasilla peppers and jalapeno peppers and spring onions and lime, cilantro. We've got some avocado here, and we've got some hominy here. I'm going to attempt to take a bite of this taco, even though it's kind of buried under all this stuff, and let you know how it is. Oh, wow. Amazing. Very good.
Oh, I got one.
Let me try the hominy. Yes. Amazing. Thank you, Clint.
Welcome, man. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Passes the test. All right, we're going to enjoy this and go to bed.
You got a fork.
I got a fork. Well, good morning. I got up a little bit early because it's really bright and I didn't put the rainfly on the tent. But it's time for coffee. Now, coffee is an important thing for camping for anybody that drinks coffee. And over the years, I've made coffee in a number of different ways when we're camping. And I've sort of settled on 2 main ways that I'll make coffee these days. The way I made coffee this morning is with this Sea to Summit pour over setup here. And the way this works, it's silicone and it expands out, and you put a filter and coffee in this, and you just put it on top of your cup and you make your coffee, and it works great. Now, it came with a little wire filter for the bottom there, but I found that it was really hard to get in there, and then every time I collapsed this thing down to stow it away, that wire fell out. And I still have it somewhere, but I don't use it anymore. And now we just use it with a paper filter, and it works really, really well. And to be honest, the paper filter is easier. You do have to bring paper filters, but you don't have to clean this thing. So if this thing has that wire in there, then it's all full of grounds, and you got to clean that out, and that takes water. Water is a precious commodity when you're out here in the desert because you need to use it to make coffee. So you don't want to waste water. The other method that we use to make coffee on a regular basis is with one of these coffee packs. Now, this is Copper Cow Classic Premium Vietnamese Coffee. I'm not sure what Vietnamese coffee
necessarily means. In this case, it tastes just like regular, it's just regular ground coffee in here, and you put it over your cup and you make coffee, and it works with, you can see the instructions there. And when Clint and Mike get up, I'll make them some. Or when you're camping, everything you do has a couple factors that are important. It's got to be good, and it's got to be easy enough. Now, using the paper filter thing is pretty good, and it's pretty easy. Using the pour over system is really good and pretty easy. So it's just a matter of how much space you want to take up. If you use the filter thing, then you have to bring the filter, the filters, the holder, the filters, water, and the coffee, and a cup. If you bring this thing, all you need is something to heat up the water. So it just depends on how fast and how light we want to travel, which one we bring. But these are by far the best easy coffee options for camping and overlanding that I've come across. And I will see what Mike and Clint think of it.
Wood fire roasted from Reno?
Yeah.
There you go. That's why it's so tasty. Hey, Tim. Good job. Yeah, cool little pour over setup. Nothing better than a nice warm hot cup of strong coffee. I like strong black coffee out here in the desert.
We'll give it a taste.
Okay.
See if you grimace.
No grimacing, man.
It doesn't taste like camper coffee. It tastes good.
Tastes good. Yeah, better than like the cowboy camper coffee for sure.
Give it a try.
I'm gonna get a video of me.
Spitting coffee all over the camera.
Yeah. Oh, that's hot. That's just hot. It doesn't taste like anything yet.
So I've shared a number of different ways to dispose of human waste while you're camping, and today we're going to show a different one. This is a little Kelty pouch that I've had for a while, and in this I carry a more extensive bathroom kit than you might have seen here before. So it zips open, and I have wipes and TP and sanitizer and bags. And you could certainly use this to dig a cat hole if that's what you were going to do. But in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinion, it's not really appropriate to be digging cat holes anymore in most places, particularly out here in central Nevada. There just isn't enough water enough moisture out here for that stuff to biodegrade in a cat hole. Plus, if enough people camp in a certain spot, there could be quite a few cat holes. You might be digging up somebody else's cat hole. So it's just not cool. So one option that we use is what they call a wag bag. I think it's waste activated gel or something, waste something gel. So these are, I've actually bought this kit a while ago and I haven't used it. So this is a gel, and then there's a little scoop. And here we have some bags. So we're going to learn together how this works. So this is like, it's a big bag. I literally have not opened this before. So looks like we're going to read the directions. That back. So it says, pour 1 level scoop of poo powder into the bag. Place waste bag in the Go Anywhere portable toilet or any receptacle. Go. After use, lift lid and handles to seal bag closed. Toss it in any household receptacle or public trash. And there's examples here. So we're going to try to use that, but I am not going to catch that on video. So we have the bag. I'm going to put the poo powder in the bag. I'll leave that in the bag for the future. And then I think if you were going to use this like a wag bag, then you would just fold the sides over, make a little place to put it, and go in there. All right, Stay tuned. All right, the deed is done. Everything's in there. I'm gonna take some hand sano. Don't worry, I have proper hand washing back at the truck. I'm gonna put everything away. Toilet paper, wipes. Take this kit. This back in there. If you've ever done any mountaineering in like national park, they require you to use something like that as well. So this bag, you'll take the bag and we'll go ahead and tie it off. And that gel in there will prevent that from being gross when I put it in the car and take it to a place where I can throw it away. And we're all good to go. And that's literally everything you need to know about overlanding with your bros. It was a lot to cover, but let's recap. Overlanding is overlanding. Close gates behind you. Don't go in mines. A fridge is nice to have. You don't have to drink to be cool. You don't need a rooftop tent, but a nice pad is nice. It's okay to be nerdy about the things you like. Good food is worth the effort. In the desert, water is life, because you need it to make coffee. And lastly, don't leave your shit on the surface. Happy trails.